Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So I thought today would be a good day to revisit my prepper pantry. For those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, you know that, or you'd remember that my first video was on this prepper pantry, and still is it was by far my most popular video. So anyways, I thought I'd make a video today and kind of go over some of the things that I never got around to show you on the first video, such as like some of the items that I keep in these totes down below, and also wanted to go over with you kind of my philosophy, my thinking with this prepper pantry, and you know why I have a prepper pantry. So I guess I'll just start with kind of telling you my thinking with this pantry. Obviously, this is a lot of food. Probably not that much food for the some of those of you preppers out there, but for the average person, this would be a lot of food to keep on hand. But this is a working pantry. I would say for the most part, we had this pantry because we have I have a large family. Well, I have a family of 5. Probably not that large, but there are 5 of us, and we live about 25 minutes outside of town. So, you know, that's really the main reason why I keep a lot of this food on hand, is so that we don't, you know, if we forget something, we don't have to drive all the way into town and exhaust a bunch of time and money into gas going to get something. So usually when I go to the store, I just buy in bulk, so that way if we run out of something, I just have it down here. We can come down here and get it. So from that aspect, it's just to save on time. But also my wife makes a lot of, you know, we make all of our food. My wife makes all of our bread. So that's a big reason why I keep this flour on hand. I probably have about 7 buckets of flour, and each bucket is about 20 pounds of flour. And we will go through that in a year easily, just on making bread and stuff. Let's see. Some of the also things I keep on hand are vitamins. Is kind of a key part of your preps. This is moringa. You know, when everybody we were going through our crazy health scare as a nation a few years back, I remember a lot of people were consuming a lot of vitamin D and vitamin C and stuff like that, and I was doing that, a lot of zinc. But what I found, what I came across, was moringa, and I actually heard about this from another channel, Big Family Homestead, I think. They were talking about this, and so I got some, and this is like by far the most miraculous supplement that I've ever taken in my life. I don't want to go too much on it, but I'll tell you right now, my immunity is like through the roof. I haven't been sick or had a cold or anything ever since I've been taking it. I've probably been taking it about a year, and it's affordable too. So this bottle is probably $12 or something like that. So anyways, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get that. But anyways, I just thought I'd touch on that because it was right there. But also, right in here, I keep spices. You know, that's another key part of preps that people don't think about, is just, you know, if you have to rely on this food, a lot of it is pretty bland, especially the beans and rice and flour. And so the more spices you have on hand, the more you can kind of give variety and change up the flavor of your food, the better. So there is that. But back to kind of my philosophy on this pantry. You know, it was never really intended to, you know, I was never really thinking along the lines of like, I'm going to stock up enough food so, you know, if full-blown Armageddon takes place, you know, me and my family can just feed off of this for the rest of our lives or whatever. Even for a year, it just seemed just a little outlandish. I've been prepping since 2011, and I can tell you, you know, most of your a food prep just this size, you're going to be having to throw out a lot of stuff. even this size. So I don't want to invest that much money into canned food because I know if everything stays even keel like it probably will, I mean, or it has, I'm going to be throwing a lot of this stuff away. So, but in the case that like things do go south, like they probably will. I mean, eventually it's we can already tell that like things are changing drastically. I mean, even in the price of food, um, and just with all the troubles that we've been having in the supply chain, it is always a good idea to keep food on stock. But anyways, my thinking around this was really to just create a stockpile big enough to where it would get me and my family through enough time, especially like a winter, so 4 to 5 months, to where we could assess whatever situation has come about and revolve our food prep strategy around that situation, so that we have enough food to kind of keep us going, so where we could come up with um, a viable, sustainable food plan that best suits that situation. So, so like for instance, if I knew that that the food supply chain was completely cut off and there was no more food coming in, you better believe I'm going to start putting all of my time and energy into coming up with a more viable food food source, such as farming. So as of right now, we just have chickens, and this spring I will be introducing quail into our preps here, and the chickens that we do have, it's become depleted. I think we're down to 6. We started out with like 14 or so, and a lot of them just got picked off from coyotes and raccoons and stuff. I did do a video on that if you want to watch that. So this season we're going to be getting at least a dozen more egg-laying chickens. I don't want to do meat chickens just for for my own reasons, but I did decide on quail as our meat source. So I'm excited about doing a video on that and implementing quail into our preps. But like I said, as far as things are right now, I just don't want to I don't really have the time or the money or the energy to put into farming, like creating a farming situation that can sustain us. It'd be nice. I'd like, if I had the time to do it, I would, you better believe I'd be investing. And if I thought the food supply chain was completely shut down, I'd be putting all my energy into that. But as far as things are right now, it's just not really on my radar. So, but like I said, I mean, that is my goal. For the most part, is slowly kind of integrate a more viable, means of food, but not something, so extreme that it's taking up all my time and my resources, and I'm ending up having to, throw a lot of stuff there. It would end up being a lot of wasted stuff. Because right now, if I had meat, meat birds and like a ton of chickens, a lot of that we just wouldn't be able to keep up with it. Even the 12 chickens was that's a lot of eggs. I mean, it's a dozen eggs a day, and so anyway, so that's where I am with kind of my thinking of this prepper pantry. We got a lot of work going on in the house right now, so one of the rooms on the other side of the house, which is where I keep my office, is being redone. So I kind of actually ended up having to put my office in here for now. And so as I move the camera around, you'll kind of see my office over here. So things are a little in disarray. It's not exactly what it was before. But also my food preps are a little depleted. So I definitely need to kind of go through and top off my preps here. So I have a list for that. I think I mentioned that in my first video that I do have a top off prep list. And a good source for that is, I think City Prepper or City Prepping did a video about topping off your preps. And he put, you can download free PDF files that kind of give you a really good general like outline of a food list, like items that you would need, like water, flour, rice, that kind of stuff, and gives you a good breakdown as to like how much you would need per person, you know, for whatever extended period of time, you know, for months, you know, 6 months to a year and so forth. So anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get my camera pointed down, and I'm gonna pull out some of these totes here and show you what I have. So stay tuned. Okay, so in this first tote here, I'm actually not even sure what's in this one, but okay, so this one is this is essentially supplies that I keep on hand in case there's some type of nuclear attack or pandemic or of some sort, to where exposure to the elements would become an issue. So I keep here is a full, I think there's 2 Tyvek suits in here with lots of sterile cleaning products. I also have some gloves in there as well. I keep a roll of duct tape and some heavy duty heavy mill plastic in case we need to create a clean room of some sort. This here would be like a biohazard bag, so you would put contaminated clothing or items in here, and it can be sealed and then disposed of. Here is just an extra gas mask filter that I keep vacuum sealed. This here is my gas mask here. And then let's see here. Right here we have I have an EMF tester, and this will kind of detect radiation or magnetic frequencies or whatever. And then of course I have a bunch of isotat iodine tablets to protect from radiation. Protects your thyroid and liver and everything from radiation poisoning. This here is just another hazmat suit, and then I have some more iodine, some more gloves. This is just a water filter for a gas mask. We have 2 more gas masks, but they didn't fit in here for the kids. And then they're in another box in the house. But this is, I got this, probably not useful anymore, but when we had babies, or when we had a baby, this is actually a gas mask system for an infant. Let's see if I can open this, but I'm probably going to be selling this on my eBay store pretty soon. So, in case that's that. Right, so I'm going to put this stuff back as quickly as I can. But anyways, I know this is one of those preps that not a lot of people invest a lot of time or energy into, and actually I could probably do a little bit better in this area. I know that it's probably at least one of the filters for the gas masks is expired, and so and definitely I should probably be getting another one now while they're still affordable, before we have like another nuclear threat scare and all this stuff you know, the prices on all this stuff just go up through the roof. So that's that. All right, so in here is kind of like my Minuteman fallout kit. So I just keep this is just my chest rig with some magazines there. I keep a ghillie suit. This here is my combat belt, and keep a couple extra mags there for my pistol and my AR, and then a canteen and a blowout kit on the back. And then here I just have some basic BDUs. Here I got a couple pair of gloves. And then here is my plate carrier, and I have steel plates in here now, so this is a pretty heavy plate carrier. And then some more extra mags for my weapons. So, you know, it's again, it's one of those things that maybe a lot of people don't invest that much money into, but or feel like they might not need it. But you know, definitely my thinking is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So you know, I don't put. I'm not like a huge gun person. I have like the basics, you know, just the basic self-defense weapons, and you know, mainly just keep a setup like this because I kind of feel like it's, you know, just our duty as American citizens. All right, so in here I have more. This is just kind of some overflow of the preps, of my food prep. So basically just more flour, rice, mostly just dehydrated goods. I got a bunch of pancake mix. This is some whole egg powder. I think there's actually, I haven't looked in here in a while, but I have just basic MREs. A bunch of MREs at the bottom of this. Sometimes I'll keep candy. Over the holidays, we get a ton of candy from like family, and we don't want to give our kids like tons of candy, so we'll give them a little bit of the candy, and then I keep the rest of it in here, just as like kind of a morale booster. Part of my preps, I'll have candy in here to kind of keep mainly just keep the kids, you know, in good spirits. So that's why I have candy in there. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and move the camera over to here and show you some of this. All right, and then so actually I'll probably just show you these real quick. So over here are our bug out bags. So this is my bug out bag. Obviously I just did a video on this one. This is my wife's bug out bag. I did do a video on this. I think I got into this bug out bag in the family disaster plan video. And then, you know, my blowout kit, and then the my fallout kit. And then I just have a little bit of ammunition here for different guns. All right, so moving down here, this I believe is the bug out. Yeah, so this is the kids bug out bags here. I did a video on this this system not too long ago. So again, just I got some treats in here in case, you know, for some reason it's really just this bag I put in here is like in case my family we need to just get out of the house, we would just take this with us, you know, if we were in the car. That's really what this is for, is if we all had to leave in the car real quick. And it's like each kid has their own backpack in here with a change of clothes, and then there's some snacks in here, and then some candy to kind of keep everything calm and in good spirits. Because, you know, my thinking with that, if we were in a disaster and a high stress situation, the last thing you want are like your children to be, you know, part of it. So really the idea is to just try to keep them calm and happy while mom and dad figure out like what to do. I just have some Dollar Tree type like coloring books, stuff like that, stuff to keep them preoccupied. There's also a like a little hygiene / medical kit for the kids in here as well, and then a couple waters. Yeah, so this is just a tote for the kids. And then in here, so this is actually my kind of like a 72-hour kit that I usually keep in the back of my truck. My truck also is is under construction, so it's all taken apart in my garage right now, replacing the transmission on it. So I kind of took everything out of my truck, so that's why this is in here right now. But I did do a video on this as well, just kind of what I keep in the back of my truck and every given day. And so there's just a hat in case my truck, you know, something happens and I have to go out on foot, and this would have this hat to keep the rain or sun off my head. I got a little bit of food, just like an MRE, and some Mountain House. This here is like a mess kit with a I won't get into it, but it's just basically a cook pot with a stove and a fuel canister, and I have some coffee and soups and stuff like that, and here like drink mixes, that kind of things in here. And then this bug out bag, just a small 72-hour bug out bag, if that. You know, it's really just meant to kind of get me home. It's just a get home bag. And then obviously in here I also have another fallout kit. And this is, you know, I like these kits because especially if you're walking, I like to just keep, I don't want to have a lot of stuff on my waist when I'm moving around. And I want to keep the stuff that I would need on hand as accessible as possible. So that's why I like these chest packs. I can just keep my essential stuff real close and off of my waist. So again, I just have, there's like a Minute Man Medic disposable kit there. I have some maps with a compass, a couple extra mags for my EDC, multi-tool, lighters. I got some protein bars, stuff like that. Just some essential items when you're walking long distance. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around. All right, so here's the other side of the pantry here. Like I said in the first video, so the way this pantry is situated in our house is that our house is basically up, kind of built on a hillside. So we're in the lower part of the home. So the lower part is kind of is basically subterranean. So that side of the wall where the food is actually is underground, and then this side is exposed to the outside, and then on this side is the garage, and this side is the house. And so it makes like a perfect kind of climate control area. It stays really nice and cool and dry down here. I do have a thermometer down here that I can kind of keep an eye on. So in the wintertime, this area stays between 50, 55, something like that. And then in the summertime, it's between 55 and 60. So it stays nice and cool and dry down here year round. Anyways, like I said, there we have construction going on the other side of the house. So I kind of have my office temporarily propped up in here. But this table is actually the reason I actually built this little table is so when we come in from the grocery store with groceries, we can kind of come in, you know, the car's in there, we back the car up, open this door, bring in the groceries, and we can kind of put things on this table to disperse into the pantry or bring upstairs. That's why I built this table. So anyways, I think I went over most of this stuff in that first video. Not really anything too special. Up top here, I just keep kind of my prepping supplies, such as like the tools that I would need. So like in this bag here, or this tote right here, is all my Mylar bags and my iron for, like, you know, and the oxygen absorbers for packaging all my long-term food, like all the flour you see in the buckets and stuff. And then we have a what do you call this thing? A pressure cooker, and I can do pressure canning, stuff like that. I have a meat grinder right there, food dehydrator next to that, and then another canning pot in the corner there. And then I have my impulse sealer for like sealing the Mylar bags. And then behind that, I have my food saver and some lights. When the power goes out, we can use those lights. C-Crane, I got this shortwave radio, C-Crane. It's a really good product. And like I said, you know, I'm going to try and put as much of this stuff in here in my description as possible. I'll leave links in the description for some of this stuff, or I don't know, if you see anything you like, you can just ask me in the comment section what you think. So obviously this is my first aid kit. There's kind of just a lot of first aid stuff in here. I got stethoscopes in here, and there's a lot of band-aids and stuff like that. And then here, I actually had a lot of people comment on this, but this was my trying to remember the name now, but this is the antibiotics that I got from Jace Medical. I'll make sure to definitely leave a link in the description for where you can get these. But it's basically what these are is like every antibiotic for every that you would ever need in this pouch. So we got everything in here. I just go ahead, and a lot of people don't realize that the antibiotics actually have a very long shelf life. I think most of these antibiotics will last for at least 10 years, especially if you keep them in a nice, cool, dry place, like in here. So I keep those there, and then I keep some first aid books. This is definitely a good book. The Survival Medicine Handbook is probably one of the most extensive books that you could get on first aid during like a SHTF or situation, something like that. Good book to have. I'll leave a link in the description for that. This is actually a wild game processing cookbook, and this is actually a good prep to have in case, you know, you did have to rely on wild game outside. This will teach you how to make it taste better and how to cook it and everything like that. This over here is just the contents that I keep on hand for making detergent for like clothing detergent. So these 3 boxes here, and then I'd have one more box of OxyClean that I don't have right here, but I make this once a year, and it'll last for a whole year. Not sure exactly how many loads you get out of it, but a lot. I can fill up with that. I can fill up a huge, 2-gallon container full of laundry detergent. So Maybe I'll make a video on how to do that. And then the rest here is just kind of basic, like random household stuff. So I have some dishwashing liquid, trash bags, rubbing alcohol, bleach, some shampoo, stuff like that. Over here, make sure that the camera's getting this. Yeah. So over here, I keep this whole thing is just batteries, and I have battery testers and everything like that. This is just some miscellaneous items I keep in here. There's like filters for our gravity fed ProPure. And then here, my gun cleaning kit. And then in here is just my accessories for all my different my comms accessories. So for all my handheld radios, the charging cables and all that. This here is our box freezer. It's a little depleted at the moment. We definitely got to fill this. As many of you know, meat is getting more and more expensive, which is another reason why I'm going to be getting quail here soon. But anyways, that's the box freezer. I got some toilet paper down here. So I have about 3 cases, a little over 3 cases of toilet paper. And then 3 cases of bottled water here, or 3 or 4 cases of bottled water. So mason jars. Over here is my colloidal silver makeup. I can make colloidal silver for those of you who know what colloidal silver is. A lot of uses for it. And then here are bottles of colloidal silver that I've made. So anyways, you guys, I think that'll about do it. Probably should touch on these buckets down here real quick. But these are, so like when somebody comes into our pantry and starts to use one of the 5-gallon buckets, we, instead of putting it, taking out a bag of food, a bag of rice or a bag of flour and then putting it back on the shelf, I make sure to keep them down here, the buckets that we're working out of. That's a lesson I learned, was that when I was prepping, sometimes my wife would come down here and she was using one of the, pulling rice or flour out of the buckets and then putting the buckets back. And we weren't communicating on that. And I came down here one day to check my preps and realized like half of my buckets were completely depleted. They were just empty. And so I was, sitting there thinking, gosh, I had this false security, to say the least, that I was looking at, wow, look at all this food I have. And then lo and behold, it was just a bunch of empty buckets. So anyway, so we've changed the procedure on that and made sure that anytime somebody, pulls a bucket and starts working out of it, that it doesn't go back on the shelf. So just one of those things you learn, as you're prepping and prepping with a big family. So anyways, you guys, hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And until the next time, stay prepared.